Welcome to Politics NY with Sky, our new series, Lifting the Curtain. It's a Schneps Media series where we're talking to political people about some political things, but mostly fun things. So there's only fun people on this series. And right now I am with Craig Johnson. He is former Nassau County Legislator, former New York State Senator, and now he's the founder and CEO of his own consulting firm, Longpoint Advisors. And he is live with me from his home in Port Washington. So Craig Johnson, the Honorable Craig Johnson, it's great to see you.
So they say, Sky, it's always great to see you as well. I'm sorry, I love the earrings. You're looking very Cher-like today.
Oh, thank you very much. You know, I try and keep things fashionable and make politics fashionable.
I do not, never have, never will. So, I can't compete against you.
But you make it fun.
I definitely make it fun.
Yeah. So tell us some of your thoughts. You want to begin with Nassau County because I'm a Nassau County girl.
Sure.
And you're a Nassau County guy. So what do you think of what's happening in the county? We saw how the city is a little more progressive, but Nassau County still has a Republican stronghold, but we have a Democratic county executive.
Yeah, we can get into the city then too, because the question is, what is a progressive these days in New York City? I think Eric Adams is going to define that a little bit differently. But look, Nassau County. Politics also, the saying is all politics is local, and they all say politics is cyclical. We're in an upswing on the Democratic side here. We've got Laura Curran, the Nassau County executive, who's running for re-election this year. I think I'm pretty confident that Laura is going to be very successful in her re-election. I think the more exciting race is Todd Kaminsky, state senator from Long Beach, who has been nominated to run in a special election to fill not even to complete the term, but to become the next district attorney. Madeline Singas, as we know, has ascended to the New York State Court of Appeals. The Republicans, as of I think this recording, have yet to name a candidate against Todd, which is very telling. When I was growing up and when I was even a legislator and a senator, the Republicans would always seem to have a candidate ready to go, no matter who was running for what seat. This time they don't, and I think that's very telling. I think Todd is going to make an excellent DA. I think he is going to win that seat. It's not going to be without the campaign. It's going to be a tough one. No matter who they name, I think the Republicans are going to use this opportunity to field test some issues that they'll definitely use in 2022 general election against some of the incumbent senators and assembly members. Yeah. Taking Todd's record in the state legislature and using that against him, whether it's bail reform, whether it's supporting, certain types of workers with a workers fund. I think that we will see a lot of that, as much as the Republicans can afford. But at the end of the day, I think you've got a voting public here in Nassau County that's still pretty blue. They may be unaffiliated, maybe a lot of unaffiliated voters, but they seem to tend to vote Democratic, particularly in the big races. So I'm pretty confident that Todd's going to win re-election. And then we'll see a couple other new faces. Wayne Wink, who's going to be the next Town Northampton supervisor, is going to probably win that race. And it'll be exciting to see what happens in November. But I think Curran, Kaminsky, Wink are all going to win.
It's fun because I'm a young person in politics, right? You have a lot of experience, Craig, and these are a lot of the names that I've been hearing in my 10-year career. So it's cool to watch these people move on. It's like the same people doing different jobs.
Yeah, I think that, they've worked very hard and they've been very successful. I think Laura has done an excellent job, coming in and taking the reins of an administration that was really mired in a lot of corruption and a lot of corrupt acts. And I think Laura has really turned things around in Nassau County. I think the feeling, despite the COVID pandemic, has been pretty upbeat. She actually did a really good job, in my opinion, in handling the COVID-19 epidemic, really kind of making sure that the voices of her constituents were heard by the governor and by others. I think Todd, as part of that state Senate majority, has already done an excellent job. It's a very different type of majority than when I was in the state Senate and then in the Democratic conference and in that 2-year majority that we had. Todd's done a lot of great work. Some of his bills haven't been so great for some of my clients, and I think that's that's just the type of legislator Todd is. But at the end of the day, we're going to see Todd take his skills to the district attorney's office, and I think Nassau County and New York will be safer with Todd at the helm of the district attorney's office.
Yeah, now Todd Kaminsky and Laura Curran are two Democrats that I would consider more moderate Democrats, and that fares well on Long Island. But let's segue now into New York City, where you mentioned what is a progressive, what's a Democrat. In the city, we see a lot of more left-leaning progressives, and now we have a candidate, the Democratic nominee, Eric Adams, who I would consider more of a moderate Democrat as well. And what do you think that means?
I served with Eric for 4 years, and I have to say that when I served with him, he actually had that reputation as being a more moderate, mainstream member of the Democratic Conference. And at the time, you had a number of New York City Democrats who were far more to the left of Eric, far more to the left of myself. So Eric, I found when I served with him, was an outstanding senator, very thoughtful on the issues, always willing to keep an open mind on issues, and that's hard sometimes in the business of politics. Sometimes you can be very, narrowly focused on particular issues. Working with Eric on issues like criminal justice, on charter schools, and education reform, Eric was a great partner, and I think he's going to do great things for the city. And I think, though, the city have to recognize that he is going to be you can call him a progressive with a small p, not a capital P. Is that Eric? You can be moderate but also be progressive at the same time. Those are two issues that do not have to conflict. He's thoughtful. He's got common sense, and I think that's what people should be excited about in New York City. But I think you're also going to see the conflicts. You've got a city comptroller that in Brad Lander, or likely to be Brad Lander, who is very much far to the left, way over to the left. You've got a city council that's going to be, depending on the speaker, could be somebody that could be a thoughtful partner with Eric Adams, or could be somebody who, may be at conflict with the new mayor. So it'll be interesting to see. I think everyone is cheering on the success of Eric and his administration. I know there's at least one Republican candidate for mayor who doesn't think we should be anointing Eric. I think it's pretty obvious, given the numbers, that Eric's going to be the next mayor. But people are going to cheer him on because we do have to bring the city back. The suburbs only succeed if New York City succeeds, and vice versa. So I think it's very important that we have a strong mayor. We have a council that is sensitive to business issues. I think that we can all be sensitive to certain social issues, but at the same time, we need to make sure that New Yorkers of all, from all corners of the city succeed, whether that's in business, whether that's on the street. And I think Eric is going to make that happen.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned the speaker's race. Any thoughts on the speaker's race? You got any inside word for us?
I got no inside word. I wish I did. I think that, it's interesting. I'm more of an outsider on that one looking in. Justin Brennan and Keith Powers are two council members who've done great things. I certainly think, they have some incredible talent. There are a number of others who have also worked very hard in the council. You got Gail Brewer, I think, the one name out there. I think this will get put together, after November. I mean, everyone should go to Somos in Puerto Rico. That seems to be the place to be. And they're having it in person. So, you go down for that conference, support a great cause like Somos, and do some business and also do some politics. So I think it's way too early in terms of the council race. But I think certainly that this will gel by November, December. I think the days of the party bosses playing a large role really has subsided, and you've seen that happen in a number of the more recent decisions. Johnson becoming speaker kind of put that together when Chris Quinn put that together. That was, I think, the last time the bosses did it, when she beat out then Councilman Bill de Blasio. So I think that this is going to be, member to member contact. And at the end of the day, you'll have some wheeling and dealing, and someone will come out on top, and 3 or 4 members will either have already cut the deals to become, decent chairs of committees, or they'll be on the outside looking in.
Yeah, it's cool. I think it's the millennial way of thinking, this whole new wave of thinking.
I'm not a millennial, so I just turned 50, so I am far from millennial. I'm half a century. That's the way I tell myself.
But with the council's very young this year.
Yes.
It's the youngest council. It's the most diverse. We have the most women. So
I think that's only a good thing. I think that
Great.
I've been my mentor in politics was my mother, and a very strong woman who beat back over a 14-year period of pretty tough battle with cancer. During her fight, she was able to not only get elected to the town council in North Hempstead, but was one of the first Nassau County legislators. But she was my hero, my champion, and she did a lot of great things. And I think, more women in government, more women in politics is only a good thing. And I think that we will only succeed, as a city, as a state, as a nation, as long as we continue to have, all views heard and respected. But I think that's very important, Sky, is we are very quick these days to now shut out, certain viewpoints that might be a little bit more moderate conservative in the Democratic Party. We had a reputation as Democrats as being very big tent, very big thinking. And I think we're losing that a little bit. And I think we have to be very careful as we move forward and not to lose it. I think Eric's election showed that he has a voice, and it's a voice that people want to hear and want to have out there. And I think we can't shut that out. And I think there's a number of council members who also feel the same way. And I think, as long as we all listen to one another, respect one another, and find ways to compromise, then we're all going to succeed.
Awesome. That's a great note to leave off on. Craig Johnson, thank you so much. The Honorable Craig Johnson, for joining us on Lifting the Curtain on Politics NY with Sky. Great to see you.
Sky, thanks so much. Have a great day.